Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 10 of Wands, okay? Pisces, you gotta slow down a little bit. This to me feels like you are under tremendous pressure. You're feeling kind of overloaded. Yeah, it feels like there's too much current going through the wire. And I feel a pressure. I feel like a shoulder pain for you, yeah? There's too much. This is a burnout warning. You're carrying too much, whether it's emotionally, maybe just practically, right? Maybe both, okay? You're carrying more responsibility than people can see. And I think that you're kind of silently suffering, you know? You're feeling the weight of everything right now. And it could be just the pressure of one particular situation or one relationship, or just life itself is feeling like, okay, I kind of got too much on my plate right now. Okay? List everything on your plate and get some stuff off of it. Remove something that's not essential. Okay? This is too much, and it's a dynamic where you're not getting the assistance that you need. So it's either we ask for help, okay, or we lighten the load. Let's put this card into a little bit of context and see what's going on here. We'll come back to it in a moment. There's the Ace of Wands. There's a Prince of Swords, Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and a Seven of Pentacles. Yes, okay. I see. So if things continue the way they're going now, you're going to fall short because you're going to burn out before you get to the goal. Okay, we have to be able to commit to a sustainable rhythm and routine of life if we want to get to the goal, right? The 7, we've fallen short. We want to get to the 10 of Pentacles, right? This is the only way to the 10 of Pentacles. I'll tell you why. Because 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. The way to get to the long-term success and wealth, prosperity, is through the 4. The long-term goals are achieved via the short-term goals. The routines and rhythms, the daily, the diurnal motion of your life will get you to your goal, but this is unsustainable. So this is too much responsibility, too much activity, too much burden, too much on your plate that you can't really focus on getting to the goals, getting the short-term goals done. Okay? Over here we have rebalancing. It's time to rebalance your finances, rebalance your portfolio of energy. Okay? It's because you're looking for fairness, you're looking for something to be more sustainable, you're looking for that kind of karmic relief. Yeah. There we have the Universe card. The Temperance card, that's very good in this situation too. And a 6 of Cups. That's a much more harmonious way to do it. Okay, this is now, it feels good. It feels like we're part of a community, we're part of a family. It feels like now we're being, and maybe part of this really, because look, this is the Ace of Cups and the 6 of Cups. Kind of at both ends we have that water energy. In between there's no water, right? It may be that you're really carrying all of the weight in your home or at school or at work. You're doing everything, but you're not getting the appreciation that you deserve. So sometimes just getting recognized, feeling like other people value me and appreciate what what I'm putting in here, that's enough to keep you going sometimes, you know? So we'll consider that as well. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith Waite Tarot, the Factor Infinite and Unknown. We'll set it down right here with Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading if at any point during this reading you feel like you might know what that card is. Put your hunch, your prediction, your guess down in the comments right below the video, okay? Now, as we look around the room, see major, major, major over here. We got a nice concentration of fire, and even this art or temperance card is more fire. We've got some air. This is air, also Libra energy. And well, like I said, we've got the fire, we've got a little bit of water, air, and our earth cards. With a real consolidation of this fire, especially with this 10. So I really feel like going from a 10 to an ace, it's kind of like we're looking to just like, I don't know, it's almost like we got to clear everything off of our desk and then just put back on those things that actually belong there. Because you've been carrying too much. Okay, you've been taking on responsibilities that probably aren't even yours. Yeah, and you haven't been resting enough. You need to rest before your body forces you to. Okay, let go of performing strength and focus on sustainable strength. And ask yourself, what can I put down so that you can carry what is truly yours? When you try to carry everything, you lose sight of the source. The 10 is so far away from the ace that it's out there thinking, what am I doing out here again? Why am I carrying all this stuff? It's like we wake up in the 10 of Wands and we just think, how did I get here? Why am I carrying all this stuff? Why does my back hurt so much? You know? And that's the moment where, when you get to the 10, that's the moment of return. Now we're saying, okay, I gotta at least think my way backwards. You know? I gotta get back to the source. I gotta remember why I'm out here. What am I actually doing? What was the whole purpose? What was the point? And the point are the aces, the points, right? This is getting back to source, but right now with that 10 of Wands, we're so far out in left field, we're just scratching our head thinking, I don't remember where I came from, I don't remember where I'm going, and I was never given a name. You know, and it's so far disconnected from source that it's become unproductive. Okay. It's because it's so exhausted that it's just like, there's no point in me even studying anymore because my brain is fried. There's no point in me doing this work anymore because I'm so exhausted that I'm not even doing quality work. You know, it's to that point where we're kind of just making things worse by continuing in this manner, right? We've got to simplify the goals. We have to remember the goals. We have to reconnect with that purpose and that goal. We've got to prioritize. We've got to lighten the load because we'll progress so much further with a sustainable routine than with this intensity, this overload, this trying to carry everything in the house at once. I always think of this card as like, and I do this too, when I get the groceries out of the car, right? You line up the grocery bags on your arm. I'm carrying 20 bags of groceries over here, 20 bags of groceries over here, and I got the eggs in my teeth, and I'm just walking like this from the car to the house. And it works, yeah. But could you imagine if that was how we had to live our entire lives? It's okay once in a while, sure, but not as a habit. Not as a habit. You're going to break something, or you're going to drop the eggs. So we need to, there's a rebalancing that needs to happen here. We have the Ace of Wands here also. Because the Ace of Wands is feeling that spark, feeling that new energy. this is that motivation. This is now like us remembering why we're here. And now I feel excited. It's kind of like when you take the backpack full of bricks off, you just feel a surge of energy. You just feel strong. You're the same as you've always been, but it's the perceived lightening of the load that makes us feel just so motivated and so strong and so refreshed, and I'm just awake and I'm alive and I'm motivated, right? So this is like, polar opposites, obviously. This is I'm exhausted, I'm burdened, my back hurts, my shoulders hurt. This is like I'm fresh as a daisy, I'm ready to go. Okay? And this is kind of like, this is what we want. We want this fresh surge of inspiration and motivation. This is the impulse of what we're trying to create. This is us getting the spark back. This is a fire that's kind of gone out of control. It's burning itself out. We got to get back to that original spark. Why we're here in the first place. What am I trying to do? And I think with the swords cards here, we need to remember what our goal is. We got to remember that warm, alive, energized feeling. We got to reconnect with this. Okay? This is a sacred energy that we want to, bring to fulfillment. This fire wants to get to earth. Okay? And this is a sacred thing. Now, the problem is that the Ten of Wands is kind of like, I've lost this spark in all of this raging fire now. I can't find the spark anymore. Okay? Or it feels like it's been buried under so much other stuff that now I can't seem to remember why I came. Okay? So we're going to honor the spark. We're going to do something about this. We're going to uncover it. We're going to unbury it from all that stuff because we want to get this again. And I think we need to rest. We need to recalibrate. We need to reallocate our energy. We need to schedule our time better. We need to budget our energy better. We need to rebalance our energetic portfolio so that we can just focus on what really freaking matters here. And we can get to our long-term goals faster by taking it slow. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. We'll get there faster if we take it slow, so says Beach Boys, I think. Anyway, that's the idea here. Now, we have this air energy under the surface, and this is the only air that we have, and it's hidden. It's beneath the surface. It's inside of you. And to me, it kind of says like we kind of forgot. I don't know that, I don't think you literally have been having memory problems, but maybe there is kind of like this awareness that we've gotten a little bit detached or a little bit far away from our plan. That things have just kind of gotten out of control or out of hand a little bit. This is now getting back to the strategy, fixing our mind on the long-term goal and saying, this is how I do it, getting the strategy back, using the logic again. Using our mental agility to solve the problem. Yeah. Because right now we've been just so overwhelmed with responsibilities and burdens that I'm not thinking straight. And we're putting all those logs down. It's like we've been carrying a backpack full of bricks out there in the wilderness. And we don't even remember why anymore. So we stop. We take the backpack off. We sit down. We drink some water. We rest. We breathe, and it all starts to come back to us. Oh yeah, I remember who I am now, and I know why I'm out here, and I know what I'm supposed to be carrying in that backpack. I don't know how I got so many bricks in there, but it's all coming back to us now. Our mind is starting to slow down. We're starting to remember. Okay, we're starting to remember. And now we can plan with strategy. We can communicate clearly and effectively. We're not going to be impatient. We're going to be systems-oriented. We're going to be organized. We're going to employ any and all technologies that will help us to streamline our life. We're going to make our lives easier. We have to carry all this backpack full of bricks. Maybe we're going to split it up into 2 loads. Maybe we're going to get a little wagon that we can pull behind us with some of the bricks in them. Just rebalancing a little bit, right? Or just realizing that I don't really need that many bricks, so I can leave some of them here for someone else to take. Okay? Or we can ask for help. We can recruit other people. We can outsource. We're very systems oriented and organized. Okay? And we're going to use any and all technologies that will improve our lives. So make a decision that's going to help you with this. It's based on the facts, based on the logic, not on the emotional considerations, not based on expectations, not based on this idea that I don't want to let people down or I don't want to appear weak or anything like that. Just logically speaking, we're going to get there faster if we all pitch in. I'll get there faster if I don't carry anything that's unnecessary. I got to lighten the load. Okay? So figure out a better plan. Get a budget, a blueprint, and a schedule. Okay? And your intellect here is the gift, and this is the very necessary thing. It's a fixed air energy. It's not wandering thought. It's not curious. It's focused. It knows what it wants, and it knows how to do it. It's a strategist. Your mind can clear a path right through this. And really, the way forward is going to be that 4 of Pentacles. But first, we want to reconnect over here with our Ace of Cups too, okay? Now, this just popped into my head, but have your lights been like flickering lately? I feel like there's something weird going on with one of your lamps or a light bulb or like a flickering light or a flashing light or something like that. That just came to me. I figure I should mention that for whoever it's meant for. I'm not really sure. Anyway, the Ace of Cups that we have in the background here, this is our why. This is why we're doing what we're doing. And this is really the most important thing for us to remember. Why the heck we're out here doing what we're doing. I think with the Ace, we're starting to reconnect with what I was trying to do. Oh, okay, I remember my goal now. And this is really the fuel for this fire. It's the why. Why are you out here doing what you're doing? You know, what does it mean to you? Because the Ace of Cups here is that heart connection. It's that sense of purpose. It's that love. You know, this is you allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling, and also, I think, allowing yourself to feel exhausted when you're exhausted. Allowing yourself to feel maybe a little taken for granted. I feel like there are some emotions that you need to process. You need to let yourself feel these things, because there are feelings that are very close to the surface now. And I think we need to just get in touch with our heart a little bit, even if it means we're gonna have to do a primal scream, even if it means we're gonna laugh, even if it means we're gonna cry a little bit. That's okay. But I think that we need to understand who we are and why we're here and why we're doing the things we're doing. Why do we have the goal we have right now? You need a why. Okay, you need a why. You have financial goals. Why? Because you're trying to take care of your family. Because you're trying to leave something for the next generation. Because it's what is the fuel for your engine? The mystery card's going to be the devil card. Watch. What's the fuel for the engine here? We need to reconnect with that. I think that's going to help us to restore and refresh our energies. And really, it's basically saying, like, have a drink of water. Take care of nourish your body and hydrate and rest and, heal a little bit. And then we're going to get back out there and we're going to start doing what we need to do. We're going to start up with this 4 of Pentacles. The consistency is the key here. Okay, this is the sun in Capricorn. I'm really feeling that devil energy. But with the Four of Pentacles, it's routine. It's habit, you know. It is, it's stability. It's a structure. And it is a short-term kind of goal. It's saying, what are the goals for today, you know? What are the goals for this month? What do I do, like, you know, if this is financials? Okay, I get paid every 2 weeks. Then that's the structure. You know, we break the long-term goal, the long-term vision, right, is the 10. The 10 of Wands, you know, maybe not. The 10 of Pentacles or the 10 of Cups, right? That's a long-term goal kind of thing. And we sort of work our way backwards. And we reverse engineer that long-term goal. You have to begin with the end in mind. You have to know where you want to go, what you want your life to look like. What is your 10 of Pentacles? And then you figure out what are the short-term goals that are going to be the ladders, the rungs of the ladder to get to that long-term goal. What are the milestones? What are the goals? It's every 2 weeks, right? You set up a good habit, a good routine, a budget, a schedule, you know, the blueprint. Every 2 weeks, this is what's going to happen. And or every month or every day or every week or whatever is manageable for you, right? And this is how you regain stability. You don't worry about long-term, oh my gosh. No, you think, okay, 1 day at a time, 1 week or 2 weeks, 1 pay period at a time, let's say. And that's what you do. And you create a routine or a habit. So you create goals for that pay period. You get paid every 2 weeks, okay. And in that 2 weeks, I got to pay rent over here. I got to pay the phone bill, electric bill, water bill. Got to do the insurance. And then you got to have money for food, okay. And you got to buy a little bit of clothes. And then, you know, are you going to invest? Are you going to save money? Are you paying off debt? Like what is the goal really? And create that, because it's in that structured system, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. You get to the long-term goals via the short-term routines and habits. You're trying to regain a stability, a sustainable flow and rhythm in your life. This is almost like chaos. This is just like forcing things too much, too hard, too intense. You're just going to break down. This is something that, okay, I can manage this. This is something that I can do it every day, every week, every 2 weeks. This is also that self-care. It's a routine for your self-care. It's like it's your, I don't know, like I got a routine for washing my hair, you know. It's that self-care routine, a physical health routine. It's your eating habits. It's your breathing habits. It's all of that stuff. Spending habits. You can create an energy budget, you know. And that's kind of what we need with our Libra energy. We're rebalancing our energy portfolio. It's time, effort, energy, money, and space. All needs to be systematically developed, built into a rhythm. It's systems oriented, remember. So protect your time and your resources from those chaotic energies, okay? Stand firmly in this authority as you set up this habit, this routine, or this rhythm, or this monthly ritual that you do, or whatever it is, right? Like I got my hair washing ritual. I've got a financial ritual that I do every month, you know. And it's kind of, you know, once we get that established, our only responsibility is to just follow through with that. And it's kind of, it gets to be a little bit easier, okay? But we have to safeguard that. We have to protect that. Because there's no point in making a budget if you're not going to stick to it. I got a budget, looks good on paper, but, you know. So we have to make sure that we really do that. And this is a card of safety, security, and stability. What does that look like for you? What in your life do you need in order for you to feel like, okay, my life is stable, my life is secure, relatively speaking. I know we want that 10 of Pentacles, that ultimate goal, whatever it could be. What's going to make you feel like you've got a good, stable, safe, secure rhythm to your life? Okay? Is this, maybe feeling like you got a steady income and you've got like your bills are all set to auto pay and you're saving a little bit of money or you're paying down the credit cards every month or something, and it seems like that's now, you got some stability. Or you're starting to save a little bit of money, you feel like you got a little cushion underneath you. Okay? The more we do this, the more this castle, kind of looks like a castle, right, from the bird's eye view. When we're looking down on our life, the more we do this this routine, the more luxurious becomes the castle. Stare at this card long enough, and pretty soon you're going to see some soft pillows and some bed sheets and some plants hanging there, and so you're going to start to smell some good food cooking, and it starts to feel like a home. It starts to feel like we're in a good rhythm. We've got a good system going. Yeah. Strengthen that foundation anyway. Because the way things are going with the 10 of Wands is right here into this 7 of Pentacles. So this is telling me that there's some kind of a frustration, some kind of a delay. Progress isn't happening. When you would think that going this hard, pedal to the metal, things would be happening faster. But this is the law of diminishing returns. You're putting in more and more and more effort, more and more responsibilities, more and more of your energetic resources are going into your long-term goal, but you're making less and less progress. So it's a slowdown that you're going to break down, and then your progress is going to stop. So let's not get here. Okay, this is manifestation that had good intentions, but it was too forceful. It was too fast. It was too rushed. We try to do too much all at once. Okay. Again, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, especially when it comes to manifesting. So this is that card that's saying, okay, you know what? The way I've been going at it hasn't been working. I need to revamp my system a little bit. I need to adjust the method here. Okay? Because we don't want things to come to a screeching halt. So this is it's kind of a warning here that's saying, look, if you burn out, if you break down, if the wheels fall off of your chariot, you're not going to make progress. You're not going to get to your long-term goal. Okay? And even when if you're feeling that now with that 10 of Wands, it doesn't mean you have to throw the whole garden out. You just fix what needs to be fixed, and you keep going. Maybe the wheels already fell off your chariot. Okay? It's fine. That's okay. We can fix the chariot. Okay, we can take that feedback. We can learn from it. We can fix things, and we can keep going. All right. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's really a great way to support the channel. It doesn't cost anything, and I really do appreciate your support. I really do. Okay, so your general energy is this Libra card. The adjustment card. Something needs adjusting in your life. We need to rebalance our energetic portfolio. We need to make better decisions. We need to weigh the options a little bit more. We need to assign particular value judgments. We need to use our wisdom and our discernment in order to make some sort of course correction. The situation you're in needs to be rebalanced. You got to be honest about what you're feeling, honest about the that sort of energetic overload. Yeah. And I think with this Judgment card, or the Justice card, the adjustment, we're judging everything that's in our backpack right now, thinking, do I need this brick? Do I really need this? You're weighing things out. Yeah. And you're saying, is this going to help me get to my goal or not? And we're being very honest about that. And we're adjusting any of our habits or anything, really, that might not be that might be, weighing us down too much. Yeah, this is an ongoing course correction now. In a way, we're sort of learning how to use the gas pedal a little bit better. But we're noticing the imbalance. We're noticing how something hasn't been quite fair to us. And maybe with that Ten of Wands too, we're realizing that there's a weird power dynamic with your life somewhere. I kind of feel that there's somebody in your life that isn't pulling their weight. Or that you have found that you have been pulling the weight of several people. And you don't need to be doing that. The Ten of Wands, you've been doing the work. You yourself, singly, Pisces, just you yourself, you've been doing the work of 2 people. That's way too much. Okay? And that's kind of, looks like a 2 of Wands, right? You need to go back to just doing the work of one person. One, strong person, very capable person, but not 2 people. That's too many. So something is clearly not working, and it needs to be a little bit more fair. I think you're a very fair person, and I don't think that you look at life as a transaction. It's not saying, okay, I'll carry your bricks today, but you better carry mine tomorrow. I don't feel like you're taking an accounting of life like that. But I feel like right now you are realizing that something's been too unfair for a while. Yeah. And again, it's not like you're keeping track. It's not like you got a pen and a paper and you're writing down the gifts that everybody got you so you can make sure that you give them the same dollar amount value of gifts come Black Friday are going to buy the same. And no, you're not like taking notes like that, But I think you're willing to just do things for other people. You're willing to take on as much work, as much weight as you need to, because that's what it takes. Maybe you're at work, maybe it's at home, maybe it's at school. Maybe somebody else is having a bad day, so you're going to do a little extra of the work. Maybe someone at your house, they lost their job. Okay, so you're going to pay the bills for a while. This is just who you are. But what if that goes on for a long time and then you start to realize, hey, they never went out and got another job, and now they're just kind of living off of me, Like you come to that point where you might realize that, hey, they're kind of taking advantage of me. Like you did it out of the goodness of your heart, but now they're just kind of milking it. Do you know what I'm saying? Or, it could be a situation where somebody knows that you will pick up the slack, and so they have no problem with like, I don't feel like working today. You see? And I don't think that you are really hyper vigilant about that. You're not out there policing everybody, but I think you're starting to feel like, hey, wait a minute. Something's not fair here. Okay. And when we get the universe card here in the environment, it kind of feels as if your goal is getting further and further away rather than closer. We want this, first of all, we want this feeling of wholeness and fairness and cooperation and community. We want to feel like we're getting to our goals. We want to feel like we're completing the work that we're doing. But it's kind of like the closer you get, the more difficult it is to take the next step. So in a way, I kind of feel like, the philosopher Zeno or something with that idea that you can never actually get to the goal, because every time, you have this distance between you and the goal, and let's say you split that distance in half. Okay, and now there's half the distance. But then you split that distance in half, and you're a little bit closer, but then you keep splitting that distance in half, and you're getting closer and closer and closer, but you'll never actually get there. I think that was it. But it kind of feels that way here, especially with this universe card. It feels like no matter how hard you're working, it's like you're out in zero gravity, microgravity, right? No matter how much you try to swim through space, you're not getting anywhere. You know, I mean, I saw a video on YouTube of that, of someone in the space station or something that was like stuck in the middle of the space station and couldn't reach any walls. And it was just trying to swim, was trying to get to something, but they couldn't. And they were moving and pushing and like pumping their legs and their arms and swimming, probably burning a lot of calories, you know. They never moved an inch. And I feel like that may be what you're experiencing now. That it's like no matter how much effort you put in, you don't feel like you're getting closer to any kind of goal or completion or anything like that. So something really does need to change. Okay. Now you get to decide what you want this next chapter to be. Because now we're finding a different way to do things. Because it can't feel this way forever, because it feels like we can't get any momentum. We're burning a lot of calories. It's like you're hitting the gas on the car and you're burning all your fuel, but the car's not going anywhere. Why? I think it's too heavy. You got too much stuff in the car. The car isn't going to go. Okay. And we move on to the Temperance card next. Because the Temperance card here is, it's a rebalancing, it's a blending, it's a transformation of sorts, okay? And it may be that we're kind of looking for middle ground. We're looking for that sweet spot. This is the air-fuel mixture of your engine. We're looking for the right amount of speed and the right amount of, sort of like fuel and friction and all the weight and stuff to find that sweet spot where we're getting the best gas mileage. And to me, this is the right mixture. Okay. There's like a sweet spot in the car. I don't know if it's like 55 miles an hour, where you're going as fast as you possibly can, but also getting the best gas mileage that you can. And so if you go any faster, you're going to lose the gas mileage. If you go any slower, your gas mileage is going to go up, but it's going to take you way longer to get there, and so you're losing. So there's like a sweet spot, And I feel like this is you experimenting with what your sweet spot is and figuring out how to stay in the process, how to continue doing this work, but doing it in a way that feels like there's a net gain or there's a profit here. Okay, that like I'm burning all my energy, but I'm eating food and I'm restoring my energy at a pretty consistent rate. So it's something that I'm able to keep up with. And that's part of our Four of Pentacles energy too. And the reason why this is here is because, when we have something as literal as the Prince of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, it feels like this should be easy. You make a budget and you stick to it. You write some numbers down and you say, okay, that's it. And then we're going to just commit to it. And I've made the plan, the schedule, the budget, and the blueprint, and we're good. But the Temperance card is reminding us that it's an art form. This is kind of like, it's a science, it's numbers, it's a spreadsheet. No, it's life, it's art, which means that there's nuance. And that means that there's going to be some experimentation that we need. We're going to have to figure out what works for us. What mixture of ingredients is going to be just right for us? What are the actual dollar amounts? Not just what I've written down, but like when it comes to my life, then I got to look at the budget and say, did I write down some reasonable numbers, or do I need to change that? There are variables. The food costs are going to change, and it's just like the other aspects of it are going to need to be tested. We're going to need to look at them and make little changes and see how those little changes affect the rhythm and the routine and the habit and the process itself. Because this is someone who's in the kitchen trying to cook up some goals, It's not a recipe. It's not one size fits all. It's not. We can't just follow the recipe step by step and expect it to be something perfect that works for us. we're going to have to make a general system, but then we're going to have to live with that system. We're going to have to live with that budget. We're going to have to live with that schedule and say, how did it work? What little thing do I need to change? Maybe going into the next pay period, I'll tweak that little component, or that number over there, and see how it works. Until we get into that rhythm and that flow. Okay? So we're slowly adjusting the routine in tiny ways, and then we're watching the effect. It's like when you're dealing with some kind of a physical thing, like some kind of a diet issue or digestion issue, right? You're not going to just completely overhaul your diet. You're going to change one little thing, give it a couple days, see how you feel. Change one little thing, minimum effective dose. Okay? Adjust your food or your sleep or your routine in a tiny, tiny way, and then you watch the effect. And that's how you refine the process right now in your life. And that process is going to be one that you can lock it in for the most part, and you're always going to be refining it, paying attention, and seeing how you might have to adjust here and there. But that sort of rhythm is going to lead to your long-term goals faster than anything else you've been trying to do. You have that Six of Cups there. To me, that is the fairness, that is the community, that is the love. You're feeling good in the neighborhood. Okay? Feel like you have a good system set up. It feels like your relationships are on point. There's comfort there. We're feeling safe. We're feeling like we've got this. We're in the flow. Okay? We're in the flow. We're not performing strength. We're feeling like we've got a really good system set up. We like the people we're working with. We're having fun. We like the process. And it's just like the consistency of the plan over the course of time, it just feels happy. This is the part of the movie where they finally figure out a way to do it that works, and you just kind of see like a time lapse shot of them doing the thing, coming in every day, and cha-ching, money in the cash register. Doing it again, cha-ching, money in the cash register. And they're just having a good old time doing it. Okay, so it's now a process that feels pleasurable, feels fun. It feels balanced. It feels like there's flow and there's rhythm. It doesn't feel like an absolute nightmare burden. Let's look at the mystery card. Maybe the devil. Let's see. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Seven of Cups. Not looking for an escape. Seven of Cups is trying to just find a way to mask the pain or mask the exhaustion, right? Rather than just feeling how we feel, I'm just going to take some Tylenol. No, do what you got to do. Talk to your doctor. But let's not put a Band-Aid on it. Okay? This is like self-soothing. And maybe I feel exhausted. Okay, I'm just going to double up my caffeine then, Instead of getting some sleep, getting some exercise, taking a hot bath, and just kind of breathing and stretching or whatever, I'm just going to have some more sugar or something, or have some more caffeine, to keep me going. So we got to be careful with that. And that's not what we don't want to fall into any of those snares or traps where we're just numbing ourselves or putting a Band-Aid or masking, right? Instead of just saying, no, look, I'm exhausted and something needs to change. Or, I'm exhausted, better have some more coffee. Hey, I like drinking coffee. I drink a cup of black coffee in the mornings, right before I come in here and do these readings. And then maybe sometimes a cup in the early afternoon, but not always. But a cup in the morning, nice black cup of coffee. We have to be realistic. We have to be honest with ourselves here. And we have to just feel how we feel and not try to cover that up with anything else. But do something healthy. Is this actually nourishing me? Because the Seven of Cups, these are not nourishing things. These are Band-Aids, basically, right? Self-medicating, Band-Aids. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. There's a link in the corner. Click on it. There's a link in the video description. Click on that. Subscribe to the channel, Pisces, if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from, and let me know what you're going to reconsider about your life right now. Okay? I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.